We now turn to the big takeaways from today's arraignment of the former president. Western Mass News reporter Kristen Burnell joining us live in studio after getting answers on the legal implications. Kristen.
Chris, we're hearing from a local expert about what makes today's arraignment historic and how the charges could be impactful for Donald Trump.
This is going to be a very interesting case in terms of the constitutional history. I think nothing has quite played out like this.
On Tuesday, former President Donald Trump entered a not guilty plea to federal charges related to the mishandling of classified documents.
The vast array of charges, 37 counts, very serious, some of them involving the Espionage Act, to holding on to documents, the obfuscating about having them, and really that a lot of it has to do with the cover-up and the shuffling of the documents around, trying to A, pretend that they weren't there, B, obviously moved around with the intent of trying to prevent the feds from getting a hold of them.
Western Mass News brought questions to one local history professor about Tuesday's developments. He tells us this is something the country has never seen before, and he believes the severity of charges could be very impactful for Trump.
The fact that he is the presumptive nominee of one of the two major parties and stands accused of grave offenses against the security of the government, holding government secrets and so forth, and among the gravest things, possible violations of the Espionage Act. I think that this will make it difficult for some of the folks to run defense for him, especially members of Congress.
If Trump were to become president, he could pardon himself from those federal charges. But that is not the case for his first indictment in New York earlier this year. Since
it remains in state court, there's absolutely nothing that Jim Jordan and his like can do to obstruct the proceedings and the wheels of justice from rolling forward.
The trial for that case is scheduled for March 2024 in the middle of primary election season.
I think that he thinks that his being in the race is his best shield for being able to protect himself from legal liability.
Now, coming up at 6, we're getting political insight on how today's arraignment could affect the other 2024 presidential candidates and its impact on voters here in Western Mass. Live at studio, Kristen Burnell, Western Mass News.